Yeah, that's the recorder. Hmm. There's a message about staying in. I'm staying in the drama. Yeah, when the drama is still that strong, then that's that strong. That's just what happened. It can be so strong, that belief, and it feels so real. So, and that's happening. That's it. It's not wrong. It's just what's happening.
heb je de opname al aangezet, Roos?
Ja.
Oké.
I think there are no restrictions on New Year's Eve in Holland.
You hear the
The shots, yeah.
I think there are, because there are a lot of restrictions now.
Yeah.
I think maybe the professional ones may. But I'm not sure. But it's always like people like to do that if it's not allowed.
Sounds like shooting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, William. Hi.
I already kind of know the answer. Well, I think I do. Because I want to ask, is there any value to any of the appearance of what's happening?
Any what? Any
Value
value?
to any of this appearance, like what's appearing?
No, there isn't. No. There's no value. Because there's no one. When there's someone, there's always value and this is better or this is worse. When there's no one, which is already is like that, there isn't value. There's just what happens.
Yeah, the reason I ask that is because when I listen to this message and I hear that the me's kind of like a veil, so the me never sees a tree as it naturally is, the me never sees another person as they naturally are. It's all kind of veiled. And then you hear that when that veil lifts, when the me falls away, everything is seen as it really is or as it naturally is. I then think, well, it would be great if that happened, because then everything would be seen as it naturally is, and that would have some kind of special value for me. I know that sounds...
But the word naturally, is, I wouldn't say that. It's just what is. And that veil is somewhere that's more like, there's something added on it. It's something else. It's when there's just what is, and then I'm sitting. There's just sitting, and then there's I'm sitting. There's always something added onto it. So that's more how I see it. And also that, but same time, it's that too. So there can't be something wrong. And me is always about, but there's maybe a veil, or there's maybe something that I don't see, or something. So there's something needing to happen. There's no need for anything to happen. It's already what is. How can it not be what is? It's everything. It's everything. Just thoughts like, there's still a veil. And that's the thought. That's what is.
So in these meetings, the me comes in with its perspective of how it sees reality. Mm-hmm. And then this message comes obviously from no one or nothing, and is the absolute sort of contrast or the absolute opposite of what the me's experience is. Like there's no comparison or like similarities between what the me thinks is reality and what's being expressed here.
There's something. It's somewhere it's already known, of course. It's like, because what's happening is it's there. But there's so quickly something added onto it, like abstracting or naming or little stories onto it. And that can be so subtle and so into that non-duality talking also. We have then maybe there's a veil. So when there's still a me, there can be a veil. And then when that's gone, why the me is gone, it's the story. There's no veil. There's just what's happening. And when there's some way of looking, then that's what's happening. So it's already there. Nothing is lost.
Yeah. It does feel like something's lost, like something's covered over, like...
Yeah. That's immediately the story, like, that's what and that's what's heard also. And when there's this message and there's still, that's what's heard. You can't do it differently. That's how we works. That's like, I can't say how that works, but it makes something else of it. So it can understand, or it feels like, there's still something not to do or to do, or you don't know what, but there's still something. No, there's not. It's already what is happening, what's apparently happening. If it's seen like it's not apparent, if it's seen, oh, I can't see it's apparent, so what? Then it's seen like solid, so what? Then that's what's happening. It's so absolute simple. And it has nothing to do with understanding or anything.
Thanks, Rose.
Yeah. Mm.
This is it.
Yeah. Also this. Mm.
You know, in the silence, my mind was all the time saying, "This is what is happening. This is what is happening. This is
Oh,
what
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
happening."
yeah. You say it to yourself. Yeah.
Mantra.
It's a new mantra. But this is just what's happening.
No, no.
like
It's a not dual, the new non-dual mantra. Yeah.
I could not have it.
Yeah, it takes
And
some
then
words
Dario
of it.
said
This is
something.
it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Dario said something, and something was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Oh gosh, the silence
Yeah.
is over. Thank God."
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, and then where all these previous thoughts stream, like, what is this all about? I know all the answers already. What am I doing here? Blah blah blah. Like a whole set of like,
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of that ones. Yeah, sure.
oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Something doesn't like the silence at all, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. There's nothing. There's no. It's also sometimes I was thinking about that. That was also something like there's an entertaining. It's entertaining. So then there's suddenly, and then it's, oh, maybe there's something said. Maybe I have something. I can hear it, and then I can listen, and suddenly there's nothing.
Yes.
So, whoa.
Wow.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Hi, Rose.
Hey.
So there really isn't anyone anywhere in any body.
No. Well, that there will never be an understanding of that, or will be sure or so.
All I know is that right now it feels like there is someone in here, and obviously I'm
Yeah.
projecting. Well, then there's someone in there, and every
Yeah,
other
yeah,
body.
sure.
And
Yeah.
that's all that I can say that's going on.
Yeah.
And it really feels like that experience is happening to someone. Like that experience is happening to me. It's causing me suffering. It's causing me blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I want to then think, okay, so if Rose has died, then maybe I will too.
Yeah. Yeah. Rose didn't die.
Yeah.
Nothing did happen. That's
there
just
was-
the story. That's the story.
But there was
Don't bother about that story. That's the story, and then you think, oh, maybe it will happen to me. No, it never will. Nothing is happening. It's just apparent thoughts, body. And when there's a belief, there's someone. There's maybe like attention feels, or I don't know. Then there's that belief. But when that's me is going there and it's heard like that, it seems like, yeah, but it's frustrating because it thinks it could be different, maybe. Well, because when there's no me, maybe there's no problems, or it wants that. So it's looking for something for yourself. Or so, how could you say that? Yeah.
I just want to feel
Never
better.
will happen. Huh? Sorry?
All it is that I just want to feel better, and I think that the solution is if there's no me, then I'll feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't obviously, like, I mean, there's been a number of glimpses over the last 12, 13 years, whatever it's been. And I can't remember exactly what it was like. I wasn't there. But from the memory, all these problems that I seem to experience day to day weren't present.
Yeah.
When there wasn't someone there wasn't all the anxiety and whatever else goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm desperate for that to become like not returning into a me.
Yeah. But it's not that you return into a me. Something else is, how can you say that? It's just, it's a belief of that there's something wrong. Me is the feeling there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can never work it out. Because when there seems to be no me here or something, then it seems like, oh, that's better. That's already that way of looking to it. That's me. That's that. And it's endless because there's never an answer for that. Always will be the same feeling like, oh, I don't feel that. I don't have that, or I don't. And it has, it's hurt or it's not hurt. There's nothing in between that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. And that's the most awful thing, because for me, everything matters, because then there are problems or anxiety or that. And what is said is whatever happens when there's anxiety, that can happen. That can happen here. That there's some feelings, or it can be anything. Problems? No, there are no problems, because that what is happening is it, and there's nothing trying to change it. It's just that. It doesn't feel nice, maybe, or feels tension, or I don't know, cold. Anything can be, but that's it. That's life. That's life full on. That.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that, because you said it doesn't matter, and obviously, like you said, to the me, everything matters, but
doesn't feel like that.
This message doesn't see any problem with anything. Even someone saying, I feel like a me, I'm suffering, I want the me to drop, blah, 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 blah. The message just says, well, that's what's happening, and it doesn't need to stop, and blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah.
You can't,
blah, 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 yeah.
You can't get anywhere with the message. You can't wrestle it to make it how you want it to be. You can't. Yeah. Because the message just doesn't take against.
No, it's all those. I want this. Oh no. I want this. Oh, I want it. Oh. So finally, it's getting nowhere, and that's the most fearful thing, because it's getting nowhere. Yeah, that's maybe I'm gonna die. It's not maybe in the head I'm gonna die, but that's more the feeling like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, and it's just jumping to everything to not die. That's the panic. That can be the panic.
Yeah.
Trying to understand, trying to get answers, I know what you're saying, but it's already, no, that's it. It's trying to, and then suddenly, it's so simple. And that, well, that can be that, and it's just energetic. And it's not wrong. Nothing is wrong. Thinking there's me. It's just thinking there's me. Yeah, can be there. Anything can be there. It's everything. So there's no things like this is not good and this is not that far. How some teachers say. No, it has nothing to do with far or not far or things like that. It's just thinking or really feeling there's someone. Then that's it.
I'm laughing because I'm projecting so many ideas into what I think liberation is.
Yeah, that's it.
And
Yeah.
basically, I don't know if this is true, but what it sounds like is that nothing really changes. It's just that it's no longer a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like what you said, anxiety can still happen, but then it's anxiety happening. Whereas for me, when the anxiety happens, this is a problem, it's awful, I don't want the anxiety, and then it makes it worse.
Yeah, that's it. And it jumps on it, and it jumps. So it's not you doing that, it's just that energy, it's going like that. It's very quickly, it's in a split second, it's already picked up, and little story, and what can I do, or things like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
But that's also just that's the energy, that's what's happened. And it can't be wrong. That's life.
Yeah, when something's uncomfortable, I think it's wrong and it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, that's it. That can be so strong, that feeling that it shouldn't be uncomfortable or not happy or looking for freedom.
So really, the me has no idea of what's being spoken about here.
No, it makes it into something, and then you look for something like a good feeling, and then you hear, oh no, it's not, it's about everything, and then it makes everything like something that when that happens, then maybe it will be better, or there will be no problem. So it makes everything into something, and but that you can't do anything else. It's just that's how it goes. So that's not wrong. Nothing is wrong. That's the amazing part. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, but that doesn't feel like that. But that's me never not accepting, never feeling like, oh, the me is. Yeah, but and always looking, searching. Me is that trying to help me, trying to help because there's something wrong. I'm trying to help you because there's something wrong. That's that whole me thing system. Yeah. And then in these meetings, that's how do you say that? Brokkelt af. It's not that can be not that strong anymore. It loosens because there's no answer. So it's like that, and then suddenly it's like, oh, things fall away, or maybe like beliefs fall away, or not that strong and that serious anymore. But that can be also frightening, because then that whole identity, like, oh, what's there for me, that's just falling away, and it's loosening, and then it can be like, oh, but then there can be a lot of questions again, but it's energetic. It has nothing to do with someone. It's an energetic, something energetic. What's happening? It's just life. In anything, can be feelings, it can be thoughts. There's no story.
Okay, thank you, Rose.
Yeah. There's an question, but it's in French, so I have to translate. Could you say that the only difference for you is that there's not anymore that sensation of presence, but it's not a sensation of presence. That's an interpretation that there's a sensation of presence. What happens? There can be that. What I thought is for example, that the tension, yeah, that was me. So that felt as presence, or maybe something in the body like some, yeah, stress or so tight feeling. That felt like I'm here. And I thought that that's presence, that's some feeling or something. That's an interpretation. It's just maybe there's a feeling of there's some tension, or and that's everything. That's just tension. It has nothing to do with presence. I don't see presence, but there can be, when there's me, there can be a feeling of that, because you see everything as something, and maybe there are words for that, like presence. There's no presence, there's just what's happening, and it can be feelings, tensions. Yeah. That's still happening. It's not that there's no tension anymore. No, there's still there pain or tension or stress or tired, or watching television, or the lamp. It's like when there's a me, then what is feeling, what is felt, and what is happening in the body, seems that happening in the body, that's the most important, because that's your life, that's what's happening. When that me isn't there, then it's seen that it's not about what is felt or what is the tension or is important. Oh, I feel, what is that tension? Oh, what comes from, oh, what did I do yesterday? Or things like that. It's just tension. And then there's walking and there's floor. And so it's not about being in the body and taking care of the body. And that's Rose is having a life. And that's not there. It's just what's happening. So that whole identity and life of Rose is just lost. There's no Rose. There's just nothing. And in the same time, it's everything. There's nothing left. And there's everything. It's in the same time like moving, a feeling, glass. Not that what it seems to happen in the body or feeling is not more important than looking at a book. That's the same. Nothing is more important than something else. A book is the same as pain. It feels different, or you see it. I can see that it's different, but it's the same. It's not more important. There's no comparing anymore. So comparing is always like, oh, I feel this, I feel sad, and I want to feel, want to feel better, or you compare with other people, like how you look or how you feel. That isn't happening. Thanks. So there's just life, there's just moving or saying or feeling for no one, to no one, just like that. So that's the freedom. Nothing is serious. Doesn't mean that you can never speak to somebody is saying something and you're not serious. That's something else. But it's, yeah, in the same time, it's not serious. You talk like really just talking, and then, but underneath there's something going on that it's not, nothing is happening. Nothing is real, nothing is serious. And it can be pain, really strong pain. no, there's nothing going on about what do I want, what do I need, that thing. It's just not there. I don't know. It's just not happening.
Rose, so the me is avoiding liberation because it's always looking for something better.
Yeah.
And it has, like I said before, I have a picture of liberation as basically being my idea of perfection when I don't feel uncomfortable or anxious and everyone likes me and whatever other stuff.
Yeah.
My idea of perfection will never happen.
No. Because it's already perfection. It's already that. That anxiety is life full on. It's life. It's unconditional love. It's the beloved, like Tony said. It's love. That's love. That's life. Full on. That feeling. That's it. And to think, no, I want perfection. I'm already perfection. I am there. Hello. Yeah.
The me just can't see it. That's the only, well, it's not a problem, but the only problem is that the me can't see that everything is already not as it should be, but like, well, perfection's the word you use. Me can't see that everything's already perfection, so it's always looking for what it thinks is perfection.
Yeah.
And even though you said there's nothing wrong with the me and the seeking and all of that, and it doesn't need to stop, I suppose at the same time, it doesn't need to happen or continue to happen either.
No.
There's no reason why it should end or why it should.
No, it can suddenly just stop and for no reason, and then or not. Yeah.
I think it needs a reason to stop.
Because me likes reason. Yeah, of course, because then that's maybe because of I am not worth enough, or it's now there's so many things going on then about reason. And it likes that there's a reason, because when there's no reason, how can it go on?
Yeah. It's just frustrating how hopeless it is, because it's obviously the whole activity is obviously so futile and hopeless, but the seeking energy is still going on apparently, even when it's clear that it won't get anywhere. It won't turn off.
That's just a story. But what is felt now? What is felt? You feel in the body. You feel something. Just what's happening?
What
in the
do
throat,
I feel?
Maybe. Yeah. What's going on now?
In the stomach, there's a lot of like tension and nervousness.
Yeah, but that tension, that feeling of tension, that's it. That's this. That's this. That's it. Stop. Finish.
Thank you.
Or is it chat?
Oh, if there's no more, what do I want? What do I need? As you said, is there no more intention to do anything? No, it's just doing. So there can be a plan, there can be planning, but that just happens. Yeah. But that's the same with everyone. It just comes up and there's planning, or there's going to the shop, or there's making a list for shopping, or it's already there everywhere. And we think we do it, and me think, when there's me, then things, I'm doing that, and what is the best way to do it, and da 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 da. Yeah, so it makes it something like I'm doing the right thing, or it's good, or it's like behaving in a certain way. But underneath that, that's what's happening, is already there. It's the same. There's only not saying, oh, the reason for this, what's happening is da 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 da, or what do I want? But that what's happening is just the same. It's just what's happening. It can be different things, but in that sense, it's the same. It's already there. Of course, it's just what's happening. So there's shopping, or watching television, or looking at the wall. That's already happening. That's what we're talking about. And then me, or that whole things like I'm doing that, and it has to be there has to be a meaning of life, and what's that, and how can I behave? What is the best behave? And the whole dream is going on. It's just a dream. It's in a second. It can be there's happening something, and that it stops. It's just not there. So it's just not really, it's not important, but it seems the most important of the whole day, of the whole life. It has no power at all. It's just some abstract thing what's useless. But it seems the most important thing of the day. How can I do that? Oh, it's completely drawn to that, all what's going on. And underneath that, it's just going by itself already. I'm looking for myself. Oh, but it's already, it's just going. Oh, it's a dream. But we cannot stop it. No, that's just life. Yeah, that's. And why is it like that? That's that question we ask. That's the mystery. What is going on? It's not wrong. Why not? Then there can be a lot of abstract thinking and dreaming and trying. Why not? And it always feels like it's important because there's a value, maybe like then I can feel better, or what's the best way to do it because then maybe it's going better, or there's always seeing some importance and trying to find what's good for you. It's very addictive. because it seems like it works sometimes, and then sometimes maybe not, but in a lot of times maybe it seems like it does work. It's already what's happening. No one is doing that.
If this would be like a personal message, I wouldn't listen to it. But because it's like there's this impersonal energy, impersonal, I don't know if I want to call it energy, but it just is the only way that this works in a way.
Yeah, there's something about it. Like there's something. It's not about me, but there's I can remember because it's. I never get. When I was with Tony Parsons. I was after a while, after some years, I was still thinking like, I never get something. Yeah. That's not so much happening in meetings. What is that? Yeah.
What I find so fascinating, there's so many spiritual, supposedly spiritual speakers that talk about enlightenment or whatever, or the death of the me even, but there's still a personal energy there.
Yeah. And then it's also seen that there's somebody else in front of them, so it's talking to the person. Yeah.
Like the whole world, everything that was learned in school and all of that is just a story.
Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of knowledge and information.
Yeah. It's funny now, like a lot of people come up with different theories about the history and all of that, but still a story.
Yeah.
And a bigger story.
Yeah, to prove you exist and all people already existed and we are there, and it's so strong to prove. So it's very threatening that there's somebody saying, or some message is saying, like, there's no one. Like, what are you talking about? I'm here. Here I can show my pictures and anything. Yeah. Me is the story. There's just what's happening, and then there comes the reporting, like, oh, naming it or saying, oh, this is what's happening. That's already a story. It's so quick. And then it goes on in maybe hearing some words in this meeting or somewhere else and making something of it. And that what was happening, it's just maybe looking at a computer. It's not seeing. It's too close. It's so close. There's no story. There's just what's happening. So there's no story, no name. There can be a name. Doesn't matter. And nothing is happening. And there seems to be happening events and things that can be there. It's just in the story of going outside and things like that. Yeah. It's not real. It's apparently real, but yeah, it can be nice or not.
There's nothing to say, really.
Yeah. It's life full on. It's life full on and in everything. So it's everything. There's no restrictions. And when there seems to be restrictions in the story, that's life full on restricting or limiting. That's limitations is the same. It's just life full on limited or it's limitation. It's everything is life. It's an apparent happening for no one, and everything is already complete and full on unconditional love. Nothing is going on about changing it. It's just life in everything, and seems to be an event. And a lot of things seems to happen there, and then it's something else. Seems about still high a mystery. What's going on here? And then suddenly it's like, oh, it's just a dream. That there's a story. There's no story. That's just what's happening. That's just moving a hand, sitting, and no one's doing it. There is no one. Everything is empty. There's no inside. There's no outside. That's the abstract mind who can make something like, oh, there's something inside, and we show pictures and films about what's going on there. And so you believe that, oh, there's everything inside. And so the brains are capable of abstracting. So they can imagine a lot of things and they fill in the gaps. It's like in movies, then there's just scenes like that, and then the brain is filling in the gaps, so it seems to be a story, it's continuing. That's the same. It's the same in the story of life, when it's going on for yourself, you could say. It's the same. It's filling in that there's a that it's continuing. There's an identity. It's there. There's a past. It has been there. Everything seems solid and seems real. My identity. I'm someone who can watch his limits or something like that. So it's trying to maintain, and it costs a lot of energy to be someone, to look for good behavior and trying to do, and then suddenly that drops. That whole trying to behave, and suddenly it doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. That's more like it. And suddenly it's like, oh, it's just what is happening, and that and it was already like that. Oh, what an exhausting thing, and it's just can drop like that, and maybe in moments, or maybe in like that, and then well, it was for no purpose. It didn't work. It didn't give anything. It was just an extra thing on top of it, and it was already happening. So nothing did change in that sense, because it was a dream, like thin thoughts coming, and nothing is changing. It's just what's happening. So nothing changes. And in the same time, it seemed like when you look in the story, it's huge. Nothing is trying to change anything anymore, but it's just gone. It's not that you do that. It's just that energy that was constantly moving, trying to change, didn't come anymore. It was just lost. And then, and then it's just, that's the freedom, and it's everything. So it doesn't matter what it is. It can be feeling like and no energy and feeling like that. Then that's it. And it's not like, oh, it's okay, that's it. No, it's not okay. It's like it's really that can happen. And still there's something else always, what we say, something like a subtle joy, because it's alive. It's alive in that grumpy or pain, and it's aliveness, and it's apparently there, and it's not there. So it's not real. So that's the freedom. It's freedom for no one. There's no Rose or somebody's here having an alignment or things like that. I don't care. It's just it's freedom. And it doesn't matter what happens. If nobody is listening, then nobody is listening. So doesn't matter. That's it. It's aliveness. It's already aliveness. There's only aliveness. And it's thoughting, there's a thought, I don't get it. Then that's the aliveness. Or the aliveness, then that's aliveness. It's already there. It's the only thing there is. Thank you. Glad you will hear. And also, it's very nice you're here.
Thank you, Rose.
So much, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you. Hi, William. Hi, Laura. Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, Johannes. Hi, Laura. Hi, Dario. Hi, Anita, Megan, Muriel, Bilanda. Hi. So I'm going to end.